Organized Sound Podcast. Welcome back. We have a very special video today. We're looking at the last decade in music, 2010 to 2020, and specifically we're looking at rap music in the context of its evolution through live concerts, shows, performances, a place where rap absolutely dominated and where people were able to accumulate a lot of wealth. So I broke the last decade down into very specific eras where certain things kind of changed. I mean, there's been some incredible artists, since you saw from the thumbnail. We're going to be talking about Wiz Khalifa, we're going to be talking about Travis Scott, we're going to be talking about different people that were absolutely touring themselves out of control, all over, internationally, going here, going there, how people were able to spur their fan bases, and then also just the industry trends that led to people building their brand into a place where they could do a lot of interesting things during their live concert. And I've also got a ton of footage from these different tours and little interview snippets from these artists on tour. All right, without further ado, we're going to get right into it. The first era that we're going to talk about is 2010 to 2013, and we're going to be looking at clips from Summer Jam, the big New York City radio concert that happens every year over in the New Jersey football stadium. So 2010, we enter this decade where the biggest artists are very established, very industry, and the person that won the biggest in this time frame was definitely Lil Wayne and Young Money and the extended Birdman family. Their market share of rap at this point, it was just out of control. They had these tight label relationships that allowed for Young Money to just secure all the big shows for outlets like MTV, BET, and many more. And so looking at this 2010 to 2013 era, only the biggest artists were really winning and participating in the wealth accumulation happening in rap music.
Why are we on tour together?
Rocky gotta answer that question.
I'm fans of these motherfuckers. That's why we all on tour together, nigga. Straight up. This is like the biggest underground tour, you know what I'm saying?
This is the best tour you niggas is ever gonna see.
All right, so the next era we're going to talk about is 2013 to 2015. And we're looking at some absolutely legendary, absolutely mythic, absolutely historic clips from two really big tours of that time. The first is the Under Influence of Music tour, which was Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, Schoolboy Q, and Kendrick Lamar. Not many people remember this tour because it was relatively early for Kendrick and Schoolboy, and their most famous works weren't out yet. But this, in hindsight, is just mind-blowing that this happened. And then we also have the Long Live ASAP tour, which was ASAP Rocky, Danny Brown, and Schoolboy Q. Noisy did a great special on this tour, so I would encourage anyone who's interested to go check out that piece of content. And so what's happening in this era, things start to develop from a reinvigoration in rap music by the fact that it's being embraced so heavily in the college space. The trend of frat rap emerges, led by Asher Roth, and this never really reaches its potential, but Wiz Khalifa is the big winner here, and you have this new group of rap conglomerates that come on the scene, the Taylor gangs, the TDEs, the ASAP mob. And so these groups make a fortune booking college shows for top dollar because they're doing these negotiations with students who have a budget from their school and are relatively inexperienced in music business. So this was a very lucrative time that opened up rap music to a very big listening segment. And I just want to talk about Wiz Khalifa even more absolutely dominated this time period. He was a touring machine. And sometimes I think people forget that. Wiz Khalifa toured every summer for a decade straight.
Yo, what's up, man? It's Mac Miller here, chilling with the homie Rolls Royce Brizzy. We in the motherfucking A.
And the next era that we're going to talk about is 2015 to 2017, and really the beginning of the streaming era. And what this did was it gave newfound power to artists who are more in the middle section of rap. And what these artists now had access to was analytics to know where their fans were and bring the show to them. Rappers now had access to international touring, which of course means international billing, making money all over the world. So two people that come to mind in this example are some of the more fan-centric artists, some of the artists that were really had the cult fan bases and showed a lot of love to their fans. Machine Gun Kelly being the first one. This is somebody who had a really big following in the Scandinavian countries, and he just started going out there and doing shows. And then also Hopsin, who had a really big following out in Australia, and he just got right on a plane and started doing shows over there, connecting with his fans over there. The last group that really benefited from this was most definitely the Atlanta rap scene, which was just starting to really pop off at this time. This group known as New Atlanta at the time, which was comprised of Future, Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan, and the Migos. And I think this is where this idea of Dubai, taking trips to Dubai, this is when that first started entering the lyrics of mainstream rap. And so we're looking at a clip here from this Woo-Ha festival in the Netherlands. And I feel like this clip absolutely belongs in the Rap Music Hall of Fame. It is A$AP Rocky performing Lord Pretty Flacco Jody 2 on stage with A$AP Ferg, TM88, Gunna. Oh, I hope you realize this is Gunna before the braids. Gunna probably before any of the Drip Season mixtapes. Early Gunna, Young Thug, and Tyler the Creator. All in one place, all overseas, absolutely turning up this show.
We are rolling loud, showing love to Tarek. This motherfucking event is wonderful, miraculous, motherfucking sensation.
That members only very rare 2050.
And for this next time period, I kind of want to set the scene a little bit. The theme here has obviously been the fact that we started the decade with only the top rap artists making any money, and how things eventually started to trickle down and how that benefited rap as a whole and created rap as the number one genre in music. So we have this idea in terms of doing concerts where your booking is either a hard ticket sale or a soft ticket. So a hard ticket sale is, I am the lead artist on the bill. You are paying this money to come and see me. That is a hard ticket sale. The idea of a soft ticket sale is, okay, there's a whole group of artists that are pretty much on the same level, and you're paying to go see them, and it's a little more muddled of who you're paying to see, but you're paying for this experience and you're finding value in that. So this brings in the Rap Music Festival. And so the era we're talking about is 2017 to 2019. And this era is completely dominated by the creation of Rolling Loud, the biggest music festival in the United States. And the idea of Rolling Loud is such a good one that once it was executed properly, it seemed so obvious. Getting every big rapper in the country on one bill to perform a festival in one place on one day. It's almost like the No Jumper podcast, where there's just this aha moment And it's like, I can't believe no one was doing this sooner. So this festival started in Miami, and it used to be once a year, but now it's a touring festival, and it goes all over the world. And the artist that is absolutely at the center of this business model is XXXTentation, a Florida artist, someone who's embraced by the founders of Rolling Loud, and as somebody who passed, someone who's become an icon. XXXTentation really gave Rolling Loud its identity, which was this heart-pounding, mosh pit-inducing music with the sound of the distorted drums provided by Ronnie J. And just XXXTentation really created this direct connection with youth culture that was very palpable. And so the last piece of this puzzle is 2019 to now, which I think is very much still dominated by Rolling Louds. Really, there's been more of an evolution in the festival scene than a revolution, and that has been the idea of one brand being so strong that it can command a festival level of ticket sales. And so we're looking at clips of, you guessed it, Astro World Festival in Camp Flogna, and I also consider OVO Fest in this range, where a handful of the world's biggest rap music artists are able to create this incredible amount of demand and have these relationships where they can just ask a few friends to perform at their event, and all of a sudden you have this absolutely show-stopping festival going on.
I'm just going to keep bringing people out. I got too many people tonight.
Look at it through the lens of Travis Scott. This is somebody who worked with the city of Houston to reopen an amusement park in his town for his music festival to happen. And this was very much the aesthetic that he was going for his entire previous album rollout cycle. But the point here is just to marvel at what a juggernaut he is, where, you know, your brand can be in this high, lofty place, and your influencer status can be at this point.
First and foremost, I want you to make some noise for my motherfucking brother. Mate, I want you to get as loud as you can from the flame, Travis Scott. Yes, sir.
All right, that wraps up the decade of rap music in terms of concerts. Definitely let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to dominate the next 10 years of rap music live performances? And what do you think is going to change and evolve? What do you think are the trends that are going to really dictate how the future goes? So, thanks so much for watching. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video.